Hi, I'm Rick Rheins, Senior Rabbi at Temple Sinai in Denver, Colorado. This week we have a double Torah portion from chapter 16 through 20. Torah portions are Acharei Mot and Kedoshim. Now, Acharei Mot refers to the tragic deaths of Nadav and Abihu, who were the two sons of Aaron, who died tragically after Aaron, their father, was ordained. And so it talks about that time after their deaths and reconciliation. And then Kiddushim refers to acts of holiness, specifically the chapters of 17 of Book of Leviticus through chapter 26 are referred to by many modern scholars as the holiness code, because again and again you'll hear the phrase that you shall be holy, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy, i.e., imitatio Dei. You should be and strive to live up to the ethics, the morals, the inspiration, the standards of holiness that God has shown through compassion and love and forgiveness and hope and building and creation. So these two Torah portions, on one hand, might seem to be incongruous. One is dealing with death and the aftermath of death and tragedy and heartbreak, and the other with holiness and hope and building and all the positives in this world. But that's not the case. Life and death, are intertwined in our world. In Judaism, it's not a binary connection with existence. It's not all happy and all sad, all goodness and bad, but rather we see the interrelationship of all, including life and death, and that which is holy and that which is not. We're instructed by our sages again and again, lahavdil ben kodesh lechol, to differentiate between that which is holy and that which is not. So, in what way can we see this exemplified? Well, one is how we react after there is a death. We are told that there are two mitzvot, kibud hamet, that you shall honor the dead, and second, nichum avalim, you shall comfort the mourner. Honor the dead through words of chesed, of eulogy, of remembering their finer qualities, of honoring the legacy that they've left us, and then nichum avalim, try to comfort the mourner by helping them recover and also helping them to be inspired to go forward with the legacy, the goodness, the love that they were gifted by the person who had died, that they had their lives touched by this person, and their lives have integrated the goodness, God willing, and they will be dedicated to carrying on. So we honor the dead by helping the mourners appreciate the lives that they've had that have been touched by that goodness, and to inspire them to continue with that life of goodness and to continue the legacy of the person who has passed. This week, all the Jewish world is also experiencing this, because we have this week Yom HaZikaron, the Memorial Day, in which we remember the deaths of the men and women who died creating the modern state of Israel, who died defending Israel, and also the victims of terror, those people who were murdered simply because they were Jews or Israeli, and they were trying to live their lives, but terrorism took their lives from them, and our hearts are broken. There's no explanation. That's what terror is about. It tries to break our spirit, saying that there's no hope. Just be terrified because there's no goodness in this world. But in this week's Torah portion in Kedoshim, it says, you shall be holy. Find the goodness, find the hope, because ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem, because I, Adonai, your God, am holy. Be inspired by God who created you. And yes, there will be the heartbreak. Yes, there will be the setback. Yes, there will be terrorism and evil in this world. That's true. But how will we react to it? We react to it by taking the goodness of the lives that have passed, and their hopes, their dreams, their ethics, their morals, their values, and say, we will champion those and we will build upon those. We will take them as our own and make make it come true in our lives, God willing. And so in Israel now, as they mourn the deaths of both their soldiers as well as the victims of terror, we take that lesson in our own lives, saying we can also take pause and remember the loved ones who have died. And then what comes right after Yom HaZikaron is Yom HaAtzmaut. That's the celebration of Israel's independence, to say that we can build on that which was heartbreaking and build it into something holy. And so this week we have Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day, to Yom HaAtzmaut, the very next day, the celebration of Israel's independence, to say we will take that which was gifted to us by our loved ones, honor their memory, kibud amet, honor them by building upon their legacy. That's Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel Independence Day. So that's the national celebration, the national observance of Acharei Mot, from death to Kedoshim, to holiness. And we have that in our own lives as well. I hope as each of us will have experiences of loss, that we will focus on the goodness in the lives of those who nurtured us and build upon them and find in them holiness. Shabbat Shalom.